obsession with talking in a British accent. And a lot of people have no idea what I'm saying or why I'm even talking like this. But one thing I love is that the older I grow, I don't care so much and I'm just unapologetically myself. And I love that. It's so fun. It's so fun, and all day at work I just talk to myself just like this out loud. And when people come around that I work with, I talk to them like that too. But of course customers know. Customers, I'm very professional, of course. And even when my cat comes to me, which she is doing right now as I'm recording this, I talk to her, the little lady. But anyways, I think that's going to be a little hard to maintain through this whole video, so I'm just going to stop right there. I might switch up a little bit, throughout the video, but you never know. So, let's talk, guys. You voted for an encouraging message, and we got 15 minutes to listen to me just go on and on and on. Something that I was thinking about today. My father-in-law has to move, and we were able to spend his last day in his house with him, and I was so happy because I really cherished the fact that Derek got to spend that time with his dad and, remember the memories of the house and just, life as it happens so fast sometimes, and things change really, really quickly. And I think when things change, it's way easier to be in perspective of how valuable our time is that we have here on earth with each other. And on my way home, I was thinking about just how good God is, and I know that's so cliche, but just thinking about his faithfulness and how kind he is and how God is such an uplifter. If you ever need a cheerleader, I would say God is definitely your number one cheerleader. I was just going over his word and his promises in my mind on the way home and just thinking about, every single promise that he gives us is filled with hope. It has hope written all over it, and it's so much of holding on and be of good cheer and don't be afraid of the things, that you're going to need during the week or your life. Don't be afraid that I'm not going to be with you. Don't be afraid that I'm not going to supply. Don't be afraid that you're alone, And I was just honestly relishing in that. Just, wow. God is so about holding on to the hope. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious that God is hope. But I never looked at it in that way, that every word he gives us is hope. So often I think in our human existence we just want to give up. We think there's no use of going on. That could be at a job or in a relationship or up to our life, our aliveness, our mortality. I know there are a lot of people out there who genuinely feel there is no hope. There is no need to live anymore. Figuratively and literally. I've always dealt with depression. I've gone through some pretty dark periods of my life, but I remember one in particular where I could honestly say I believe that I know why people kill themselves. I believe I know why people give up. I remember that time of my life, it was just like staring at a blank wall. And there was no other walls except for the blank black wall that I was staring at. No sense of hope. No sense of anything changing. No point to it all. And I remember that time of my life being a very, 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 very painful time of my life. That was most definitely my most heartbreaking part of my life as of yet. And just feeling like I was never going to get out of it. I remember I took a trip to Julian thinking it would be good to commemorate just timelines in that time of my life and, you know, be in solitude with God and pray. And I remember one day I was silly of me anyway. I rented a cabin in the woods, first of all, which is like a pretty cool idea, but I was alone. And when you rent a cabin in the woods at night, it is literally pitch dark outside, and all I had was my little Chiweenier dog, so didn't think that one all the way through. Ended up coming home early. I was so scared I couldn't sleep at night. But I remember during one of the days, I know that worship is powerful, and I know and believe that there are things that God does on my behalf when I'm worshiping, not because I'm worshiping, but there's relational dynamic in that, I believe. And God, I was just seeking so much to get out of that funk, get out of that darkness, get out of that staring at those four blank black walls. And I remember I was in the living room of this cabin, and I was just freaking at the top of my lungs screaming to God to just do something, because at that time it felt like nothing was being changed. And I remember I just kept having this thought go in my mind, like, is this how it's going to be forever now? Is this my life now? Should I just get used to it and accept it? And I know there are times in our lives where it seems like something's lasting so long that you do ask yourself that. Is this how it's always going to be now? Am I going to feel like this forever? Am I going to go through these episodes forever? Am I going to have these panic attacks forever? And am I going to have this anxiety forever? Am I going to have this loneliness, depression, emotional fatigue, second guessing myself forever? And there's a part of you that probably just wants to accept it, because if you accept it, you won't have to fight it anymore. But I believe in every single person there's another part of you that hopes for better. And I believe that is why we hold on to things so often. Memories, people, material things, faith. We hope that maybe one day things will change. Maybe they'll change. Maybe this job will change. Maybe this memory will change. Maybe it's the hope of, if only I had one more day to tell this person this, to see this person, to look them in the eyes, to see their smile, to hear their laugh. Faith is the essence of things hoped for. It's the belief in them. It's the belief in the things unseen. Hope cannot be seen, but it can be felt. It's those moments that we have to hang on to. God, I want you to hold on to those moments. I want you to have hope for better days. I want you to have hope that there is a different emotion for you to feel out there. I want you to have hope that there's a different version of you, a better version of you that you might not be seeing or experiencing right now. I want you to be hopeful that God is a faithful God, whether you see him or not. He literally is your biggest cheerleader. He wants you to have hope. He gives you promises so that you are filled with hope. And life can take that hope away so easily. Circumstances can say otherwise, I know. But I hope that you hold on to it. I hope that you hold on to those promises that you are loved, that God will supply all your needs according to his glorious riches in Jesus Christ, that greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world, and that means God who is in you is greater than any enemy coming against you in this world. Hope in the resurrection. Hope that once you accept Jesus Christ, you will see him in heaven, that we are the handiwork of Jesus Christ, that he has created work for us before we were even a thought in the universe. We were a thought in his mind, in his heart, that he loves us more than we'll ever know, that he loves us so much that it doesn't matter what we do for his love or what we do to not have his love. He loves us the same, and it never changes. It never fades, it never goes away. And I try not to force my theology on anyone. I love everybody. I love everyone who's listening to this, to be completely honest. And I'm not trying to cram my religion down your throat, but all I want is for you to have hope. And if that's how I found hope, then I just offer it to you. Honestly, I really just offer it to you. I offer the thought. I offer you the question of, do you have hope in anything else that's not supplying? I just want you to be free. I want you to know your worth. I want you to know that you are so loved. I know I say that every single video. It's so true, and it's such a thing that I myself constantly have to be reminded and have to be taught. It's not something that comes naturally to me. Freedom is not something that comes naturally to me. I know that the Lord has given Derek and I joy. I know he has, and that's what I was thinking about today when we were driving, is that in our marriage, things have not always come easily to us. We've been through some crazy times, but you know what? We have seen God day in and day out provide for our needs, provide for the music that Derek's producing, provide for my job that I'm doing, provide for these videos, provide for our fridge, for our wallets, for our animals, for our loved ones. We've seen it. We have seen it so many times, and the funniest part is how many times I've seen it, I still forget, and I still have to be reminded. And that's why it's so important to have healthy affirmations in your mind. You're doing better than you think you are. You're raising those babies better than you think you are. That got deep, I know. That's how my heart feels toward you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching me bleach my hair. Funny story, I was supposed to be taking the pink out of my hair because I had a interview for a corporate position, which I will be finding out the day that I post this. So if anyone would like to know the outcome of that, hit me up. And anyways, so the pink didn't come out of my hair, as you can tell, but the toner, it toned the heck out of the blonde, or out of the pink, I mean. And it's just all kinds of wonderful. That's all I gotta say about that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this message. I hope you enjoyed my English accent. If you want to rate it, that would be awesome. Tell me how I'm doing, if I'm doing good, if I need to work on anything. You could always subscribe to my channel, like my videos. My videos do get out there more if you like them, so that would just help me out greatly. Thank you all for watching, and until next week, toodaloo!